Hebrews 1:1-3. God, after he spoke long ago to the fathers in the prophets, in many portions and in many ways, in these last days has spoken to us in his Son, whom he appointed heir of all things, through whom also he made the world. And he is the radiance of his glory and the exact representation of his nature, and upholds all things by the word of his power. When he had made purification of sins, he sat down at the right hand of the Majesty on high. Well, the Christian church has been in existence for, 2,000 years now. During that time, our wise theologians have figured out the Trinity. They've explained it to us, and now we've got God in a tight little box, right? How do you express the inexpressible God in mere words? How can puny created beings grasp the concept of one God in three persons, of the second person taking on human flesh, becoming flesh, and dwelling among us? Human language is so inadequate. But let's see what the Word of God says. Speaking of Jesus Christ, verse 2 refers to him as his Son, God's Son. Of course, not by procreation or reproduction, but by voluntary subordination. God the Son submits to God the Father in obedience to the plan of salvation. And you may be aware that in many cases in the New Testament, son of means equality with. For example, James and John are nicknamed the sons of thunder. That's their character. That's who they were. They had hot tempers. Barnabas is nicknamed the son of encouragement. That's who he was. He was an encourager. Jesus is called the Son of God. That's who he was. He is God. Verse 3 calls or refers to him as he is the radiance of his glory. God is light and dwells in unapproachable light. No one can see him. The same with the second person of the Trinity, Christ, except that he took on human flesh. It's not that God hid inside of a human costume. It's that he was human in every sense of the word, and yet God as well in every sense of the word. He is the exact representation of his nature. That phrase makes it sound like Jesus was sort of like a photocopy, a duplicate. Well, no, the language here means he was the same as. You remember Jesus said to Philip, "If you have seen me, you have seen the Father." Jesus makes the invisible God visible. He is the creator of all, through whom also he made the world. God spoke and it was, we read in Genesis. And we find out that God is Jesus Christ, the second person of the Trinity. He is the one who spoke everything into being. He is the sustainer. He upholds all things by the word of his power. He is the one who keeps this universe going according to his plan. And he is the heir of all things. It all belongs to him, including you, whom he has purchased with his own blood. Oh, the depth of the riches, both of the wisdom and the knowledge of God. How unsearchable are his judgments, and how unfathomable are his ways.